This is an absolute nightmare. This really is one of the worst things that could happen. But I'm not going to stress about it because I'm not the first person it's happened to, and I certainly won't be the last person it happens to, so all we can do is fix it. Right, well, here we go. Hi guys, and welcome back to the Herd Wave, or welcome if you're new. So as promised, at the end of 2022, first video of the new year is going to be the DIY job on this tank. Like I explained in last video I did, this tank has a crack in it. It's at this side, or I'm assuming it's at this side because this is where the water was coming from. Might not even be from that side. I might be completely wrong when I actually get it down. And it could be underneath it, I don't know. I'm assuming that it's from that end, so I'm gonna have to have some help lifting this down. I can take a closer look at it and see exactly what I'm dealing with here. Yeah, so the lovely guy who custom makes all of my tanks in my house, he has very kindly walked me through it, because I normally get him to repair anything major that goes wrong with tanks. Like I said, I do some little repairs, but not to the extent of this one, or what I think is wrong with this one. I haven't gotten it down yet, and I haven't had a really good look at it. I'm just surmising what is wrong with it, because it's still holding water. That's the thing that I'm unsure about, is that it's still holding some water, but where I think the crack is, it shouldn't be holding water. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on with it. Like I say, I'm gonna have to get it down, so I'm gonna have some help lifting this bad boy down and take a closer look at it and see what's going on with it. And I'm gonna give this a go. I'm gonna see if I can do it myself. If not, I'm gonna have to get on the phone to him, which hopefully he'll do for me. But it might not come to that. We might be able to do it ourselves. We might be able to do this. Fingers crossed. With any luck, we can do it. So, like I said in the video before Christmas, I'm going to gut the whole thing. So, I'm going to get rid of this horrible black paint that is on either side. I'm going to leave the back, because I do quite like the back. Should I do the back? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Definitely the sides, possibly the back. So, I'm going to scrape all that paint off. Get that all nice. And I'm going to gut the inside of it. That is the plan for today. I'm actually really quite nervous about doing this. I don't know why. I think it's because I don't know exactly what's wrong with it. Because I thought I knew what was wrong with it, but now I'm not sure because it stopped leaking. Because like you could see in the last video, it still was holding water. And I haven't done anything to it since that video. And it's still holding water. The same amount of water, I think. Pretty much. I don't know. I didn't measure it. Yeah. See, still holding the water. See, it needs a jolly good all clean, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, you can see I already did start the sides of it, or one side of it. Did that a while back. That's why it looks like that. I didn't do it without yet, I promise. I did that a while ago, so. But yeah, hopefully we can get this tank up and running, get these trophies back in. I like them in that tank too. They do look good in that tank. And then with their babies as well, which are getting really big actually, again. Liking that. So that is the plan for today. Stay tuned and let's see if we can do this. tank down, you can see this side of it. This is how it's supposed to look. So you've got the corner, the other corner. There is a brace in the middle. But then, if you look at this side, yeah, and that's where it all went wrong. So, you can see here, now there's a bit missing. And it's the same at this end. There's a bit missing here. Now, one of the main things is this isn't how you need to stack a tank. Basically, that's what's happened, or why the crack has happened. The weight wasn't being distributed evenly. There could have been something stuck underneath it as well. Could have been a bit of sand, or I'm not just saying it's down to one thing. It could be a number of factors gone into why the tank is actually cracked. But looking at this, it's at a wild guess, I would say it would be that. Now, the reason why that is the way it is because this stand wasn't actually made for this tank. It was made for the Calver's tank. And this tank was originally on that stand. But I don't know whether you can remember when that tank actually was sitting on here. But I decided to move it. Now, this tank did originally house the Mbuna in it. But I decided to move that up to there and move the Calvus over. So that is why this is the way it is. And this is actually where the tank used to sit, right on the edge of it, because that was the length of it. That's the length of the tank, and that fit there. And this is just the side beam that holds it all together, basically. Totally my own fault. Yeah, that's all I can say, really. I'm assuming that is that. Obviously, there is other things that can go wrong. It doesn't matter whether the floor's level or not. It just depends on whether these four sides are level. But like I say, I don't think that had anything to do with it. I do believe that it was down to this side. So, won't be making that mistake again. We'll be fixing that pronto. Let's face it, most of the time, things just get overlooked. Sometimes you know what you're supposed to do, you know what you're not supposed to do, but it happens anyway, or you do it anyway. It's just one of those things. It's happened. Can't do anything about it now, so I'm just going to try and fix it. Out of the tank before you start putting any type of silicone in there. You might want to also dry it out with a towel. So obviously this, it did have a lot of hard water stains. Now the water naturally here, or where I'm from, is hard, which is quite fortunate for keeping African cichlids. In that sense of water hardness, it's pretty perfect for them. However, obviously with hard water comes the calcium, so that's what all the stains on top of here were. Now this isn't a tank that's in the house or anything like that. It is in my fish room, so just bear that in mind if you are gonna use a blade to scrape off any of the calcium that's on top of the tanks or on the sides of it. Just bear that in mind, that to use a very sharp razor if you're gonna do that, because it may scratch your tank. So bear that in mind. But obviously this tank I'm not too fussed about. It is in my fish room, and it is the top of it mostly that had the hard water stains, so I wasn't too bothered about it. But I just wanted to mention that obviously you see me scraping off not only the calcium but the black paint that was on both sides of it. You see me scrape that off, so bear that in mind as well, that if you do want to scrape any paint off, use a very sharp blade. Careful with your blade. But yeah, I just wanted to quickly mention that because I didn't want anybody to go at their tank with a blade and then realise it scratched the hell out of it. That is primarily the reason why I used that and wasn't particularly bothered about the scratches, was because of where it is actually located. I wouldn't do this with any of my tanks in the house, or if I did, I would be extra careful with it. So yeah, but I'm actually really pleased at how it's turned out so far. Just gonna give this a chance to set. You can see I don't think I did too bad a job on it. It was pretty scary, I must admit, to do that, but I don't think that looks too bad. And obviously you won't be able to see it once the gravel's down anyway, but we shall see. Wait till this dries and then I will test it out with some water in. So fingers crossed that I've been successful. For anybody who's worried about this, so the main thing to remember is this aquarium sealant is what is used to hold your tank together anyway. This is the sealant that they use to keep all four sides together. So it's meant to do this. This is the job it's meant to do. So I know it can be a bit daunting when you see a crack in the middle of your tank and you think, oh, I'm just going to fill it in with some silicone. But think about it like that. This is how your tanks are put together. This is how they do it. What I would suggest is, if anybody is thinking, I don't know whether I should be doing this, possibly check out somebody who has either done it before, or somebody who you can walk you through it, or even if you do have somebody who fixes glass aquariums, try and speak to them about it. 100% sure that you are confident with what you're doing and you think it's going to hold the volume of water that you actually have. So just a little disclaimer there, just be confident and really be sure that you know it's going to hold before you attempt to put any water in, and definitely any fish in it. But do give it a go. I would recommend trying it, because you're never going to know if you don't try. So it might be a complete disaster, it might not work, or it might not work first time, but at least you've tried it. At least you know that you give it a go, and that's the main thing. So just a little bit of advice there. another video. Hopefully you enjoyed this kind of content, my little DIY video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. Don't forget to like, thumbs up, all that jazz, and I will catch you on my next one. Bye.
What you doing, huh?
I think they're getting fed.
You think you're getting fed? You're gonna bite me.
Like I explained in the last video, I've got a crank. I've got a crank. We are going to fix it. Positivity. We're going to fix it. Well, I didn't. I was going to say I could measure it for you, but I didn't measure it last time, so we wouldn't be any good measuring it this time, would there? Because that wouldn't work. Guesstimate. I could guesstimate it. I guesstimate that it's the same.
Hello? You come to say hi? Have you come to say hi? Yeah? Have you come to say hi? Have you come to say hi? Yeah? You come to say hi?
Okay, so that didn't work. Please schedule me in for a repair. A nice spring clean in January.